This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. I have talked about Matt Walsh, the Ben Shapiro lapdog from Daily Wire, multiple times. He is a crusader of hatred. He is a purveyor of bigotry. He is a teacher of how to be intolerant of others. He just is emblematic. He exemplifies these characteristics. And he is the new firebrand for the Republican Party. People love him. And his anti-trans bigotry is now, apparently it doesn't fulfill him. It doesn't warm his icy, dark, black heart enough. So he is turning his gaze upon black people. His bigotry is now on full display for America. He is perpetually on Twitter, it seems. I mean, look, I'm on Twitter, maybe too much, but I'm not tweeting every 15 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes like he is, all in an effort to whip up the base of Republicans, giving them permission to hold the most pernicious, wicked ideas about their fellow man, but also to act upon those thoughts. On his little show on Daily Wire the other day, he made a comment about black crime committed by black folks. And he is now in a concerted effort, making a concerted effort to frighten white Republicans into believing that there are that is very common for gangs of black folks to hunt white people. Listen, this is dangerous. Even with a cursory glance and a lack of fulsome understanding of the issues at play right now, you have to know that those words are going to get somebody killed. We just witnessed the case where the young black man went to the wrong door, rang the doorbell, and was shot in the head by an old white man. The kid was just there to pick up his siblings and just happened to knock on the wrong door. Fox News for years has trafficked in stoking fear among old white people. They either titillate them with, this is sexual, and or they whip them into a frenzy with fear for their safety because of the hordes of brown immigrants coming across the border, or just that their life is in danger from some random black person on the street. And this is exactly what Matt Walsh is doing. I would say willfully, willingly, knowingly, but I don't know his heart. I could just listen to his words and make a judgment based on that. I'm going to play this clip, and then we'll just talk about it, I guess. That's the best way to do it. And then we're going to refute so easily. It doesn't take research to know and to see that what he is saying is just a patented, just a clear, gross lie. Watch Dum Matt Walsh.
She insisted. Now, there's a reason the media has to lie about the stories of Sarah Comrie and Amy Cooper, not to mention the most egregious recent example, which was Daniel Penny. And the reason is simple. It's because they can't find videos and news stories of white people going out and hunting black people. It just doesn't happen. They lie and pretend it happens all the time, and a lot of white leftists believe it, even when their lives come crashing down because of it. But it's not true. And the people spreading this narrative, they know that it isn't true. Just this weekend, the NAACP Board of Directors issued a travel advisory for Florida. And they were warning that the state, under the leadership of that infamous white supremacist Ron DeSantis, is not safe for black people. Not safe for black people because of white people, just to be clear. But guess where the board's chairman lives? Florida, of course. So these people don't believe their own nonsense, but they expect you to believe it, or at least pretend that you do. On the other hand, black people committing crimes against white people for sport is common. In fact, it's so common now that it's one of the fastest growing genres on social media. Here's just one example from the UK. Watch as a black TikToker perpetrates a kind of casual home invasion, walking into a random white family's home for the sake of going viral. Watch this.
Get into random houses, let's go.
James? Come to the front door right now, please.
James? James? You man, come.
Hello, James.
We need to speak to James.
James.
Hi.
James.
Is this where the study group is?
No. No. What door number is this?
No. Study group.
5:30. Oh. Come on, come on.
Wait, this is not where the study group is.
got kids, man.
Oh, you got kids? Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought this was the study group. I actually thought. And this is the study group.
Yeah, maybe that family there in the UK is learning why we have the Second Amendment here in the United States.
First, let me just address the Florida thing. If there's a black person who lives in Florida and is, or let's use my home state. If there's somebody who is black who lives in Idaho and says, listen, I wouldn't recommend anybody move to Idaho. It is not good for black people, but still lives there. That doesn't mean the thing they're saying about the safety is incorrect. Because it also, they're not talking about it's unsafe for black people to be in Florida because generally of white people. They're saying it because of the Republican legislature led largely by white people in Florida who are creating an atmosphere that is hostile to both LGBTQ people, but also black and brown people. Black people specifically relative to the right to vote, the suppressive tactics that they're taking to try to disenfranchise people of color. That's what they're talking about. And then for him to say, and this is the quote, they can't find, meaning the left, meaning people like me, they can't find videos and news stories of white people going out and hunting black people. It just doesn't happen, he said. Interesting that it just doesn't happen. And then the clip that he shows is just kids, stupid kids, ignorant idiots going into someone's home and sitting on their couch. I didn't see any, I saw idiots. I saw reprehensible behavior, but I didn't see hunting. I saw dumb kids who were swept up in TikTok pranks doing something stupid. But I didn't see black people hunting white people. And as far as it doesn't happen, it just doesn't happen, he said. How quickly, and of course it's going to happen, what a coincidence that Matt Walsh forgets the first instance that came to my mind was the Buffalo shooting, where a white perpetrator literally hunted black people in a grocery store as they shopped for food for their families. 10 people dead, 3 people injured, some gravely. It just doesn't happen, Matt Walsh said. And further, you vile, sinister puke, it was predicated by people like you. Talk like yours. Because, and I'm going to play a brief clip from a video that I did last year after this, where I put up Tucker Carlson's quotes about diversity right next to the shooter in Buffalo's quotes. And they're almost a mirror image of one another. It's almost just a direct quotation from Tucker Carlson, the words that were written by the Buffalo shooter. So for Matt Walsh to act like it just doesn't happen, you can't find any news stories or any video of white people stalking and hunting black people, you're a liar. You are a disgusting, sinister character who is intending for violence. I mean, that's the only way I can see to view this. Here it is from last year. Watch this with keeping in mind Matt Walsh's idiotic comments. How precisely is diversity our strength? Since you've made this our new national motto, please be specific as you explain it. Can you think, for example, of other institutions such as, marriage or military units, in which the less people have in common, the more cohesive they are? Do you get along better with your neighbors or your coworkers if you can't understand each other or you share no common values? That's what he just said. Let's put these up side by side. That quote from Tucker Carlson and this quote from the Buffalo shooter. Why is diversity said to be our greatest strength? Does anyone even ask why? It is spoken like a mantra and repeated ad infinitum. Diversity is our greatest strength. Diversity is our greatest strength. Diversity is our greatest strength. Sent through the media, spoken by politicians, educators, and celebrities, but no one ever seems to give a reason why. What gives a nation strength? And how does diversity increase that strength? What part of diversity causes this increase in strength? No one can give an answer. I guess that's a coincidence, huh, Matt Walsh? I guess it's just a fluke that virtually the exact same words and language were used by the hunter of black people, the Buffalo shooter, that were used by Tucker Carlson, Fox News' former white supremacist in chief. Maybe you're trying to vie for that position in America, Matt Walsh. Right-wing media is getting more right-wing, more aggressive, more ignoring of the possible violence that their words will inevitably stoke. What do you think about this? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I'm on social media @Dollemore everywhere. You can follow me there. And if you appreciate what I do and you want to help support and produce what I do here, you can click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. You can click that super thanks button and give an immediate bit of support, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. All those are great ways to help support what we do here. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.